Really?
refugee
So the Britons weren't so arrogant after all. They saw like, oh my god, the Poles are way better than us. Cześć and welcome to the next video. So we already discovered that Poland has a very rich history with many very crucial events to the world, but also to Poland itself, of course. And today we are watching 5 moments where Poland changed the world. So I'm very interested to see what this is all about. Please tell me in the comments which moments are maybe not covered in the video, but you think those are very important where Poland did something to change the history of the world. By the way, before we start, you find even more content like this and exclusive reactions like to 1670 on my Patreon. Link is in the description. Thank you so much for that.
Boom! Cześć ludzie, what's up people? Hola, videos.I here. Welcome to another episode. We're living difficult times, and it seems as if human beings just don't learn from our own mistakes, and history repeats itself. With that, bad things in history will happen over and over again, but also good things. Today I want to tell you 5 times in history when Poland changed the world. And this is the first of those moments in history where Poland is
Where is he from? It sounds a little bit Spanish. So it's maybe Spain?
changing the world. The war in Ukraine and the Polish support for the
Yeah,
Ukrainian refugees.
That's
To quote
true.
the mayor of Medyka, Marek Iwasieczko, which is one of the primary
But also he sounds like he could pronounce Polish names very well.
points for the refugees, he said, "These people have lost everything, and we need to help them, even if that means that we're going to have to learn to live with less." If that doesn't tell you what you need to know
That is
about
very
the
impressive.
mentality of Polish
That's
people
so
during
impressive.
this crisis, then I don't even know what to tell you. Did you know that ever since the Russian invasion started, more people have fled into Poland than the whole amount of refugees that came to Europe during the 2015
Really?
refugee crisis? And what is
No,
incredible
that can't
is
be
the
true.
fact that this is the first time where the
No.
host country hasn't had the need to build refugee camps. There are no refugee camps in Poland. The last few days,
So
I
how do you
found
deal
something
with
on
them?
social media that touched me. And don't quote me on this, but it's something to the degree that Polish people are helping Ukrainians because they know what it feels like to be there. They've been in those shoes. Do you know what that means? There are people alive today that their own grandparents have gone exactly through what the Ukrainians are going through. And because of this, Polish people have opened their arms and their houses. They're giving everything they can. We know that there's a lot of people struggling in this beautiful country. It's not easy. Times are really difficult, and they're going to get even harder. Do you think they know that? They know that. Still, that doesn't prevent them from doing anything they can do to help
It's
a
very
fellow
courageous,
Ukrainian,
yeah.
a neighbor, a brother Slav. And I believe wholeheartedly that this moment in time is going to go to the history books. We are living it. We are breathing history in the making. And one more time where Poland changed the world. Before World War II, there were around 3 million Jewish people living in Poland. That's around 10% of the population at the time. Poland was the center of the European Jewish world.
Really?
On
Is it
September
like that?
1st of 1939, Germany decided to invade Poland, and with that, the beginning of World War II exploded. The Nazi plan for Polish Jews was one of concentration, isolation, and eventual total annihilation during the Holocaust. Yet, the response of the Polish majority to the Jewish Holocaust covered an extremely wide spectrum, often ranging from acts of altruism at the risk of endangering their own lives and that of their families, through compassion to positivity, indifference, blackmail, and denunciation. An average Jew that survived in occupied Poland depended on many acts of acceptance and tolerance. Nearly every Jew that was rescued because of the cooperative efforts of a dozen people or more.
It's absolutely amazing what Poles today do with the Ukrainian refugees, but also like in the times in the 40s, in the 30s, what they did with the Jews, how they helped them. Absolutely incredible. Please hit like and subscribe. It would help me so much. Thank you.
An article published in the Journal of Genocide Research where Hans Firth estimated that around 1,200,000 Poles were involved in rescuing Jews. Poles were by nationality the most numerous persons to rescue Jews during the Holocaust. To date, 7,000 ethnic Poles have been
Which makes sense, because if Poland is the center of the Jewish community, then probably most Poles are also helping because there are the most Jews, right?
by the state of Israel as rages among the nations, more by far than the citizens of any other country. The rescue efforts were aided by one of the largest resistance movements in Europe, the Polish underground state. I've talked about this on one of my other videos.
I have asked in one of the last videos
Movements in Europe.
which this is. This is also at the Grom soldiers. They also have this badge, right?
Underground state. I've talked about this on one of my other videos. I'm going to put a link here for you to find it. Of the 3 million Poles that lost their lives during World War II, thousands were killed by Germans for helping Jews.
No.
Did you know that in 1802, Napoleon dispatched a legion of around 5,000 Polish men to join the French forces in Saint-Domingue to help suppress the Haitian slave rebellion? The Poles were hoping to receive French support in restoring Poland's independence from its oppressors, Prussia, Russia, Austria, who divided the country in the late 18th century. These men were told that there was a revolt of prisoners in Saint-Domingue. But when they got there and they started being thrown into battle, they soon realized that the French were trying to stop a revolution of African slaves that they were trying to break free from their white masters. Very soon after, the Polish soldiers started admiring their opponents actually turned on the French army and joined the rebellion.
Let's go.
Some of the Polish soldiers who remained on the French side still did not follow the orders properly and refused to murder the captured soldiers. After Haiti gained its independence, Dessalines recognized the Poles and spared them when he ordered the massacre of most French whites. He granted the Poles classification as noir, or black, who constituted the new ruling class, and granted them full Another moment when Poland changed the world was on the 14th of August of 1980.
What was that?
When a movement was founded named Solidarity, or in Polish, Solidarność. Solidarność was a Polish non-governmental trade union founded by Lech Wałęsa and others. In the early 80s, it became the first independent labor union in a Soviet bloc country. Solidarność gave rise to a broad, non-violent, anti-communistic social movement that at its height claimed around 9 million members. It is considered
25% of the whole country, right? Wow.
to have contributed greatly to the fall of communism. Between 1952
Thank
and
you,
1989, Poland was ruled by a communistic government established after the Red Army's takeover of Polish territory from German occupation in World War II. The People's Republic of Poland tried to destroy the Union by instituting martial law in 1981, followed by several years of political repression, but in the end it was forced to negotiate. The roundtable talks between the Communist Party and the Solidarity-led opposition resulted in semi-free elections in 1989. And by the end of August of the same year, 1989, a Solidarity-led coalition government had begun, and Wałęsa was elected president in December of 1990. This was a historic moment for the world because soon after, this was followed by the dismantling of the communistic governmental system and by Poland's transformation into a modern democratic state. It was an unprecedented event, not only for the People's Republic of Poland, a satellite of the Soviet Union, but for the whole Eastern Bloc. Solidarności's example led to the spread of anti-communistic ideas throughout the Eastern Bloc, weakening communist governments. This process later culminating in the revolutions of 1989.
What is that?
This process later culminating in the revolution.
What is that? That is certainly not Germany. That is a Belgian flag. That is not a German flag.
of 1989.
Or Romanian flag, maybe. I don't know if this
Communist
is
government.
black or
This
blue.
process later culminating in the revolutions
But that's certainly not Germany. Maybe that's Romania.
of 1989.
That is Germany.
Have you heard about the Polish pilots in the Battle of Britain? Let
No.
me tell you about it. In
Huh?
June of
In the Battle of Britain? How did you get to Britain?
1940, during the darkest hours of World War II,
Yeah.
France had fallen, bringing around 30,000 Polish military personnel across the Channel, including 8,500 Polish pilots. Having fought the Germans unsuccessfully in Poland and France, Winston Churchill declared the Polish Prime Minister in exile, "We shall conquer together, or we shall die together." And they both agreed to establish two Polish fighting wings, the 302 Poznan Squadron and the 303 Kościuszko Squadron. Despite the Polish pilots' extensive combat experience, the British, just as the French, decided to believe the German propaganda that the Polish Air Force had fallen so quickly because of the ineptitude of its pilots. The language gap gave the Royal Air Force even more skepticism about the newcomers, and they made it a priority to teach them the British tactics. And if you know Polish people, you know that they probably didn't take this too well.
Yeah, they are
The
very
303
proud.
Squadron was carrying out some training maneuvers when the flying officer Ludwik Paszkiewicz spotted a large formation of German bombers and fighters. Paszkiewicz broke formation and charted at a Messerschmitt Me-110, and between him and another Hurricane pilot, brought down the plane. In just 42 days, the 303 Squadron brought down 126 German planes,
Okay.
becoming the most successful fighting squadron in the Battle of Britain.
Wow.
Overall, the squadron
That's
scored
impressive.
nearly 3 times
So the
number
Britons weren't so arrogant after all. They saw like, oh my god, the Poles are way better than us.
of kills of the average British fighter squadron, with 1/3 the casualty rate. During some of the most desperate
So they were
points
way
in the
better.
battle, the Royal Air Force only had around 350 pilots to scrabble, of which 100 were Poles. Boom! That's all, guys. That's the end of the episode.
I love this
hope
energy.
you liked it. If you guys know any more historical events where Poland changed the world,
I should
please
start my videos with boom and welcome back, right? Cześć is not not boomy enough. It's not boom. I love that.
down below. I would love to do a part 2.
Yeah, I really like his style. I don't know, he has such a very good. He really makes the story that you see it in front of your eyes, And he has a very, very good style of storytelling. And I have to be honest, I never knew that Poland was so influential in world history. I thought they were always like passive, hey, we get invaded again, stuff like that. Because of course, Germany much bigger, Russia much bigger. What can you do, But here you see the Poles fight back on every occasion. They help people that get annihilated, like in the Holocaust. They fight back in Britain. They now help people that not get annihilated, but get invaded by Russia. So on so many occasions, Poland were maybe not. It's not always big spread. Poland defeated somebody, but they were always a very crucial point in the strategies, in the circumstances that then made it to a victory. For example, like this very famous and very successful fighter squadron. And please tell me more about those incidents. I mean, of course, Ukraine crisis, I know pretty much something about, right? Because it's right now, but maybe more about those fighting pilots. It's very interesting to see people that are just way better than other people, for example, at those fighting planes, stuff like this. Maybe you have some videos where I can watch or react to. That would be very, very awesome. And yeah, tell me all your other thoughts or maybe other things I can react to about those topics or about different topics in the comments. Would be so cool. Please don't forget to just give me the word watch in the comment, because then I can look it up much easier. Or if you post a link, it's also okay, because in every link there is the word watch in it. that makes it just much easier, because on this channel I think right now 30,000 comments, stuff like that. So yeah, that would be a very big thing to go through all of those comments. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Keep liking, subscribing, and we see each other in the next video. Bye.